What if your breakthrough and your body wisdom and the life that is really calling you, the optimally healthy version of you who is so happy she's living the life that she's living, and loves her body, she's just asking you to get to know her. She's asking you to get to know that level of your body. Feeling hopeless on the health journey. I want to speak to this because although I admit I'm not a health specialist in any way, I am not a body specialist, I'm not a somatic healer or anything like that. I've just personally gone through my own health journey for the last 5 years, and it's been hell in a lot of ways, and I'm grateful that I feel like I'm on the other side of it, and I have a lot to share. And I've noticed that we're in this collective awakening time, and there's a lot of people discussing body pains, feeling confused on what they're going through. Maybe they're thinking it's, Ascension Symptoms, and feeling when does this end? When does the pain stop? What do I do? And maybe you're somebody who feels like you've gone to so many different practitioners, specialists, you've had so many healing sessions, and you still don't really have any resolve. You feel like it's taking forever in a day to get you anywhere that feels like, okay, I finally feel good in my body. This video is for you. I don't really know how long this is going to go because I'm just going to speak from the heart. So check the timestamps below. You can kind of, join the journey where you feel like you want to tap in. Before we go any further, my name is Jessie. I'm a professional life coach. I'm also an intuitive. I've been practicing professionally for over 5 years now, but I've been really a mentor and a coach for people since middle school. It's something that called me in at a very young age. And so, I'm just very passionate about helping women come home to themselves and feel safe wherever they are on their journey and accept themselves and really meet themselves where they're at. It's a big passion of mine. I also have had the pleasure of working for Tony Robbins for a year. I'm a professional organizer. I'm this multi-passionate lover who also just wants to help you make sense of the journey that you're on. So if this is your vibe, I would love to have you subscribe, join this channel, join this community. It's growing. I've newly decided to tap back into it way more seriously. I started it back in end of October last year. I think it was literally Halloween evening, if that says anything. I'd rather do that than I'd rather do this than the normal society things. So that is a big part of this, this channel, is just being real and sharing wisdom from, somebody who's really in it with you, but also has done so much work to shift into this new version of myself, this version who feels like she can really hold and help women. So I'd love to have you subscribe, share this video out with anybody you think it could be a helpful resource for, and just continue to join me on this journey. So with that being said, let's get back into it. Yeah, I've just really felt like we are in this collective uprising, which means that we have to purge all of the toxicity, it's like a detoxing. I feel like the collective is just going through a major detox right now. And so this is why I'm really grateful. I don't want to say I've been there, done that, but I'm really grateful. I have personally already gone through the body ascension experience in a really deep way, the awakening part of it, right? The first real big hit where you feel like I have zero answers for what's going on. Nobody can seem to help me. No matter what I do, I'm not getting any reprieve. And if anything, sometimes it feels like it's getting worse. I remember that so much. And so, I'm just feeling called to speak on this. I really thought I was done talking about body stuff, and I shared all the supplements and things that I love and the things that I'm, diving into to just stay, optimal and just feel really good in my body. But this topic of people coming into their ascended lighter body as we move into these new times, it's just a hot topic right now. So I'm gonna share some wisdom with you all. So first and foremost, I want you to know you're not crazy. You're probably ascending, but also you probably are feeling real symptoms. You're feeling real physical pain. So it's hard to feel is it just ascension, or is it me? Am I dying? Is there something wrong with me? And I want you to know you're not dying. I think it's Elizabeth April who has a really cool book called You're Not Dying, You're Just Ascending. So I haven't read it, but it just sounds cool. So as somebody who's, overcome, I would say, the really intense awakening of the body starting to rise into these higher levels, like I had no idea what was going on when I was going through it. It was so scary. It was so painful. I felt crazy, and I was so upset that I wasn't having any answers, any resolve. Like, no matter the specialist, the healer, the deep dive work I did, I felt like I was having no resolve, and I was feeling hopeless. And know that feeling of feeling like maybe I'm dying, or maybe there's something wrong with me, or maybe this is how it's going to be forever. And I want you to know that it's not forever, it's temporary, especially if you were drawn to this video and I think deep down, if you really sit with yourself, if you're listening to this video, chances are deep down you believe, the truth, you're not crazy, and you're not dying, and you have this inkling you're probably ascending. Listen to that, because that's not only going to keep you going strong through this and holding on to hope, but it's also going to keep you in the game and keep you rising into the ascended levels that your body, your soul, your spirit are calling you into at this time. We're in a very interesting time on the planet right now where we're just in this huge purge, right? You think about like any time, like, I don't know about you, but like I had to heal my skin. I went through a really painful skin journey of just so much cystic acne, so much, just like, no matter what I did, it wasn't even just hormonal. It was like I would just have tons of acne everywhere, and I didn't know why or like what to do about it. And when I finally started going through healing my gut, right, doing all of the deeper work within the body, I started noticing that my face was purging more. It was like it had to get worse before it got better. It had to literally detox so intensely, where it was just like very much coming through the skin. And then what could happen is, once we got rid of the junk, the foundation of the skin, right, the epidermis, it didn't have all this bumpy stuff to sit on anymore, and so then it could smooth out and it could be calmer, and then it was just more regulated. Well, it's the same thing with our society right now. I really believe like the planet as a whole is going through like an internal detox. So it's getting worse before it gets better. And so on a collective level, like, you think about how many souls are on this planet right now, like 8 billion? That's so many. And so if we're all just energy, if everything's just energy, of course, we're all going to be feeling the collective rising together. Like, on some level, everybody's feeling the shift. We're in the middle of it. If you ever listen to channelers, it's a very exciting time to be alive, because we're feeling like something that we're literally in the middle of, like something that they have talked about for so long. We are living in this time right now. So you're not crazy. You're just energetic. You're an energetic vibrational being who is feeling, quite literally, the shift. And you're feeling it in your body because your body is such dense matter. It can only help but feel like a vibration inside, when externally the vibration of the entire collective in the planet is changing too. So you, being also a vibrational being, are gonna of course feel it. So you're not crazy, and you're not alone. That's the biggest thing. When I was going through my stuff, I felt so alone the entire time. I felt like everybody around me felt nothing wrong with their bodies. I was the only one that was affected by like every food, like everything. I just was like, I don't know what's wrong with me and why me, and I didn't know that anybody else was feeling this or going through the same thing. And so what I want to tell you is, like, what a time to go through it, because you're not alone. Chances are, if you bring this up to somebody and you're somewhere in your circle, somebody is going to be like, oh yeah, I've been feeling stuff too, or I've been having pain too. And it's like, what a relief in a way. Not that you wish it on anybody, but like, you're not alone. And I think that's why. It's because the collective shift is upon us. So you might be saying, okay, great. Like, you're not telling me anything I don't know. Or like, now that I know that, okay, great. Like, what do I do about it? What I want to tell you is that, first of all, breathe. Like, all hope is not lost. No hope is lost. Like, you are going to be okay. It's temporary, and you're going to shift through it. And when you get to the other side of it, you will be an upgraded level of yourself. You will be an upgraded human that you have always been wanting to be, where chances are, while you're in this shift with your body, you're purging out not only, actual toxins like coming through your body in whatever way they do, through pain, through, skin weird stuff. They're just toxic stuff coming through physically, but you're also probably healing a lot of emotional stuff, right? You probably got a lot of emotional baggage coming up to the surface, because when we're healing our body in this way, where we're detoxing and we're purging, we're also healing the environment of the cells. Joe Dispenza talks about like epigenetics, right? Like changing the environment of the cell. It's like not just about the cell. The environment is what creates the health of the cell. And that I thought was so amazing, because then that also means that, well, if our body keeps a score and our body holds on to, example, emotions, right? It holds on to emotions, experiences that we've had our entire life. Well, then where does it store it? It stores it around the cells. That is the environment. The emotions and the experiences and the memories we've had as we've been living our life, that is the environment around our cell. That's why when you feel more stressed, you become in a more unhealthy, contracted state. But when you feel happier, you're in a more vibrant, healthy state where you feel like you can take on anything and you have all this energy. It's because the environment around your cells is healthier, happier. There's calmer emotions supporting it. So if you're feeling a lot of intense emotions coming up, it's not just you, it's literally, that's part of what's detoxing as well. And so what's beautiful is that as a byproduct of that, you're going to start eventually being more clear. You're going to have more clarity. You're going to start knowing how to move, in your life and in the world more. You're going to start coming into more of who you're more designed to be as a soul on the planet, because you're sloughing off all the dense stuff that's not really you. That's all the programming, all the stuff that you started to wear over time, all the beliefs, all the subconscious stuff that you picked up like a sponge, not realizing you were picking it up. That's all clearing in the purge as well. So that's probably why you feel a little bit crazy, or you feel like this is so dramatic and intense, is because it really is. It's everything is coming to the surface right now and exiting. So it's like this mass exodus, like within internally, but also collectively on the planet. Like, it's what a time, what a time to be alive. So I'm in this group right now where it's this like WhatsApp channel, and it's really beautiful. It's with a lot of women, and they're all very like awakened women, and they're inspiring, and they have all these cool things that they do, and they invite people into. And there was a gal in there that shared, she's actually one of the reasons why I was inspired to make this video today, is because she shared how, this exact same thing. She's going through so much physical pain on like a neurological level, like just, it's intense in every step of the way. And so everyone was in there offering her, healing sessions and things she can do on a somatic level to release and whatever. And I was like, that is beautiful. And I hope that she dives into that. And, as an intuitive, the advice that was like screaming at me to share with her is that sometimes in these, awakening experiences with our body, when we're feeling hopeless and we're feeling like nothing's working, part of what we're doing is we're trying so hard to, and this is what I did, right? I'm speaking about myself here. I'm not judging anyone or anything. It's just part of what I did was I was in such a panic mode about trying to heal my body, because I was like, something's off, like things aren't working, like so much is off and it's painful. And I was in such a panic about it that I was pretty much like reaching out to every single person and every single external thing I could get my hands on, from energy sessions to brain scans, CT scans, pelvic exams, ultrasounds, MRIs, just so many healing sessions, acupuncture. I saw counselors, like multiple integrative health specialists, like the amount of people externally that I had reached out to, and supplements and like all these things to try to heal what was going on in my body. And it was so frustrating and annoyingly expensive, and it just like, maybe I'd feel a little reprieve and some things shifted and changed, but I never really saw the real results that I'm having now until I did it different. I think one thing I realized is that my journey had to take 5 years of feeling like that in my body, because I was doing the same thing all the time, expecting a different result, right? That's the definition of sanity, like everybody will say. But I thought I was doing everything different, because I was like, oh, I'm seeing a different practitioner, a different specialist. I'm trying a different healing modality. But what I wasn't doing in any of that was listening to myself. I was listening to everybody else outside of me for their expertise and their answers and their support and their solutions. I was totally not giving myself an opportunity to be my own answered prayer. I wasn't giving myself an opportunity to go inward and ask myself and my body, what are you trying to tell me right now? To each body part that I was physically experiencing pain with, what do you want me to know? And the only reason I knew that that's the thing that I wasn't doing was because I remembered back in the day, I think I was like I don't even think I was 20 yet. And I was given the book, or told about the book, You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay, the creator of Hay House Publishing. And there's also a book called You Can Heal Your Body, which is basically just the glossary that sits in the back of the You Can Heal Your Life book. And it's so profound because what she talks about in this book is you have, like, when we think about what resources do I have in front of me right now, like what do I have available to me right now, not how much money do I have to like pay this practitioner over here to help me, but what do I have as a resource right now. And what I found is when I dug into that, I realized, oh my gosh, I can connect with my body. I can connect and treat it like a relationship. I can talk to it. I can seek clarity. And initially I was kind of I don't want to say I was turned off by it, but I was like, that feels really slow. That feels like I need answers now, and I don't got time to sit there and just listen because I need like tangible something. And I didn't realize like that mentality of scarcity mindset was part of keeping me in the loop of feeling in pain with my body, because I was just trying to rush the process. I was trying to rush my body, and I was completely doing the opposite of what my body wanted. And the reason my body got so painful over 10 years of just treating it like garbage, and to finally where it broke and I collapsed on the ground and had to get rushed to the ER, and that thus began my journey, is because I spent so much time suppressing, indulging in vices and wanting quick fixes. And I was never actually sitting with myself, asking myself and my body, like, what do you need right now? What are you trying to say? Why are you speaking to me so loud? Why are you causing so much pain in my body right now? And when I read that book, like, I think I'd heard about it a long time before I read it. And it's funny how seeds plant and bloom. It's funny, you can plant a seed and then it's going to bloom at the exact right time. It could be 10 years later, 10 minutes later, 10 months later. Like for me, it was like over a decade later. And I finally read this book and I was just mind blown, because I was like, oh my God, I've had the answers this whole time. And so as I started to connect with my body and ask it, what does it need, by just journaling, or I would ask that question and I would think about a specific body part, and then I would meditate and I would let, answers or guidance come. Or I would ask that question and then I would journal about it. Or I'd ask that question and then I would live my day and just try to see if I could be in stillness or quietness and just see what answers came in. And initially it was a little slow because I had never done that before. It's like building a new muscle. I didn't know what to expect or when things would come in, or I was initially was like, give me answers. And as I just began to release and be like, okay, I just trust that they're going to come because this feels so divine, this guidance, I did start to get answers. I started to connect with my body more and realize it just wanted to be heard. It wanted me to, more than anything, like every body part was asking me to slow down and kept reminding me that there's no rush. Like there's no rush to any of this. Like, slow down, get really connected to who you are, like start to love yourself. And that's when I started going down the deep work of self-compassion, reparenting, just real love and worthiness work. And as I started to do that work, like as a byproduct, like the pain started to leave. Like it just really started to leave my body, and I really just started to feel lighter as a human. I started to feel better in my body. I started to look better, but I also started to feel safer, feel calmer. My nervous system settled down. I started being willing to do meditation. I started telling myself, actually, I do have time for this, because if I don't have 10, 20 minutes for myself, I don't have a life. I started just getting real with myself and calming the fuck down. And as I did that, what started happening is my intuition became stronger to the point where I now own that I am an intuitive. I've started to connect more with myself in a way where I feel like I'm my own best friend, and I love that. Like, my relationship with myself has changed tenfold. And it's interesting how the thing that caused me so much pain and agony and frustration for 5 years of my life has ultimately become my biggest superpower, which is I feel safe to be a sovereign being, and I trust my body. I have so much inner knowing that comes into my life now simply because I've changed my relationship to my body through being shook, right? Like I was literally dropped to the ground and went through 5 years of not understanding my body, being in chaos with my body, feeling totally powerless to my body, and getting to a point where I had no choice but to surrender to my body. And what came through was deep wisdom and transformation and deep alchemy, to the point now where I feel like I have so many gifts to give on this topic to others who are going through, that sense of hopelessness. It's really just about being willing to do it different. And although, yes, like, do the sessions that you want to do, right? I'm not taking that away from you or telling you don't go do the healing and enjoy, those things. I still am connected to an integrative health specialist because I really believe in the naturopathic way of doing things. And I just like having people like that in my pocket because they can help me understanding, like, the sourcing of certain supplements and which supplements, like, I maybe don't need. Like, they can, they can kind of lead me towards cool brands and things, or not. I can tune into my own guidance, be like, actually, I don't want that, or I don't need that. But when I do, it's like, it's nice to have that. But regardless, other than that, like, on a day-to-day basis, it feels amazing to feel like I've got this, instead of this thing that was holding me back for so long, or that's what it felt like, I actually have a new, like, I speak a new language now. I speak the language of my body. We are connected in a whole new way, and it's so empowering. And so if you're feeling hopeless around your health, you're feeling like there's no answers for you, or like, when is it ever going to change, or when are you ever going to feel good in your body, I want you to know it's there for you, especially if you're listening to this video. I feel like that is true for the people connected to this video. Like, you wouldn't be connected to this video and drawn in if this wasn't true for you and true for your soul, and your soul knows it. So know that all you're being asked to do is do it a little bit different. In the background, give more compassion to your body. I realized that a lot of my pain and stuff was as a byproduct of the life I had been living, and the way I had been being to my body. I believe my body's a temple now, but like, I was treating it like a garbage can all of my 20s, but for sure, growing up too, because in the dance world, like, I was like starving myself, or like, and then in college I was bulimic, and then I would like binge drink and I'd eat a bunch of crap, or I'd like, sometimes I'd eat healthy, but like my portion sizes were out of control because I like wouldn't eat all day, and then I would eat a ton when I did eat, and it was like, it was just madness. And like, girl, just drink some water or something. And it was like, I liked water, but like, I didn't like it like I like it now, because I was so focused on, things tasting good and like wanting to have just instant gratification in all the ways. And so 10 years plus, maybe 20 years of doing that, my body was screaming at me, and I am grateful it did, because now I was able to listen and to hear it and to do things different. But I think that's the invitation for you as well, is if you're listening to this and you're still with me, thank you. And thank you for subscribing if you haven't already. But know that you get to do it different this time. And when you do, your life is going to blow you away. It's going to surprise you and bring you the biggest gifts, which is a deeper connection to your body and able to really hear the wisdom it has for you. And when you can hear that, holy shit, like, your life is going to amplify, it's going to upgrade, because you're going to suddenly feel like you know more where you're headed in your life. I found that when I felt the most lost in my life was when my body stuff was going on, when I felt the most pain, or just like I didn't feel optimal in who I was, or really I felt like my body was more just holding me back. That's when externally my life was also being held back, because it's such a reflection, but now that like things are thriving and I'm feeling more good internally, and I've been able to shed a lot of the old beliefs and the old stagnation, internally, but like mentally, and all, I guess that's internal. There was so much stagnation and stuff I had to just move through by going through a lot of health protocols and things. But after I did that, and as I started to just move a little slower and ask what my body needs, and actually listen and honor, right, and being devoted to honoring the advice and the wisdom that was coming through, and not judging it or second guessing it, but just receiving it and trusting and doing it, everything started to shift. I'm so grateful for that. And I want that for you too. So you can do this. Just do it a little bit different this time. That's all you're being asked to do, is what if your breakthrough and your embody wisdom and the life that is really calling you, you know, the optimally healthy version of you who is so happy she's living the life that she's living, like, and loves her body, like, she's just asking you to get to know her. She's asking you to get to know that level of your body, and maybe you just haven't tapped in yet. Also, before I end this episode, I want to invite you to write out, you know, the version of you that's healthy, because I also learned in my own journey, I never actually understood what a really healthy version of me looked like, felt like, you know, how she lived. I never really took the time to like think about that. And then I realized, oh, part of the reason why, like, really going all in on just like believing that a healthy life was possible for me was because I actually didn't even know what that meant. So I want to encourage you to define terms a little bit and think like for yourself, okay, if you're going to step into your most optimally healthy self and you're going to tune into the wisdom of your body and you're going to get to know yourself in a new way, well, what does that feel like? You know, what does that look like on a daily basis? Like that version of you, how does she move and be in the world? Like, does she have to rush to get everything done? Is she constantly worried about everything? Or maybe her external is chill as fuck because internally she's chill as fuck. And so that gets to be your life. Like, you get to decide what this is, but, you know, take this as the invitation to actually sit with that and do that. And then, you know, consistently have more of these moments with yourself where you aren't afraid of stillness, of connecting inward. And I think you'll see that your life will rapidly start to shift before your eyes, you know, in very magical ways. And it's not that it's not effortless, but I don't know, like stepping into more of this version of yourself, for me at least, has felt way more effortless than all the times I was panicking, reaching out all like externally to every resource I could find and doing all the healing sessions and trying so hard to fix myself. I was on this endless search of fixing, right? But now I operate in the sense of I am healed, I am healthy, I am optimally healthy, and there's nothing to fix. I am vibrant, I am full of vitality, I am a beautiful soul that is just starting to blossom and bloom, and I'm in vibrant health, and I am so happy and so joyous, and internally is thriving, and therefore externally gets to thrive as well. I get to have it all. You get to have it all.